Richard Hale, a reclusive millionaire whose empire stretched across continents, had built everything in his life on logic, precision, and control, yet nothing had prepared him for the terror of watching his 3-year-old twin daughters, Lily and Liana, fall mysteriously ill, deteriorating day by day as doctors, specialists, and world-renowned experts failed to find a cause despite his endless money, sleepless nights, and the silent prayer he whispered every time he held their small, frail hands. His mansion gradually transformed from a palace of wealth into a graveyard of medical reports, machines, monitors, and the constant sound of beeping alarms. Helicopters frequently landed on the estate carrying new specialists, new scanners, new hopes that died the moment the doctors admitted they were clueless. Richard's world had shrunk from global boardrooms to 2 tiny hospital beds placed side by side in his master suite, where he slept on the floor each night because he refused to leave them. The media speculated wildly, charities begged for donations, and conspiracy theorists whispered online, but Richard blocked the world out, focusing solely on his daughters, his only remaining connection to his late wife, Amelia, whose death during childbirth still haunted him like a shadow that clung to every corner of the mansion. With every passing week, the girls grew weaker, their once bright blue eyes dulled, their giggles disappeared, and their tiny bodies trembled with a fever no medicine could break. Exhausted, Maria had worked for the Hartman family since before the triplets were born. She was soft-spoken, hard-working, and loved the children as though they were her own. She felt the shift in the air the moment Veronica moved in temporarily. Veronica's smiles were too stiff. Her compliments were too forced. And her eyes, they never lingered on the children with warmth. A few days into Alexander's trip, Veronica's true colors began to seep out like cracks in painted glass. She would snap at the kids for laughing too loudly, scold them for running in the hallway, criticize Lily for her messy pigtails, and glare at the boys for leaving toys scattered on the floor. But what began with irritation soon escalated into cruelty. When the children asked for bedtime stories, she locked the lights and left them in the dark. When they asked for snacks, she threw stale biscuits on a plate and shoved it across the table. And when they cried for their father, she hissed, "Get used to it. He's too busy for you." Maria heard everything. She cleaned quietly, listened carefully, and reported every detail to Alexander, who watched the footage from his hotel suite with a tightening chest. Every tear the children shed felt like a dagger to his heart. He wanted to burst through the front door and end it all, but he needed undeniable proof, and he needed to see. Interview praising my leadership felt meaningless, because the strongest empire I could have built had collapsed the day I walked away from a child who needed me. I stood up slowly, ignoring the murmurs around me, and for the first time in years, I spoke not as a CEO but as a broken man, admitting my past, my mistake, my fear, and my regret, and I announced that not only would the program continue, but I would personally fund it, adopt it, protect it, because redemption begins when truth is faced, not hidden. Tears flowed freely now, not just hers, but mine, and even some around the table. Because people don't connect to power, they connect to honesty, and as the meeting ended, my life as I knew it was gone, replaced by a chance to become the man I should have been all along. This is not just a story about regret, it's a reminder that your past never disappears, it waits for the right moment to teach you humility, responsibility, and love, and if this story touched your heart, changed your perspective, or made you reflect even a little, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because stories like these don't just entertain. They heal, awaken, and remind us what truly matters, and by subscribing, you become part of a community that believes powerful stories can change lives.